They say love is patient. They say love is kind. But what happens when love becomes the thing that hurts you most? When every "I love you" feels like control, and every apology sounds like manipulation. Welcome back to Billy Healing Corner. Tonight we're talking about what it's like to live with someone who slowly breaks you down, someone who makes you doubt yourself, and still calls it love. It's about the quiet, invisible pain of living with a narcissist. But this time, it's not just theory, it's real. This is the story of James, a man who sent us a voice message that touched me deeply. James has been living for years in the shadows of emotional control, trying to love someone who keeps turning love into punishment. Let's listen to his message together.
Hi, Billy. My name's James. I've been married for almost 7 years, and I don't really know how to describe what's happening to me anymore. She wasn't always like this, you know. At first, she was the most beautiful soul I'd ever met. She made me feel seen, understood, wanted. But now, I feel like a stranger in my own house. It started small. Questions about who I was texting, comments about the way I dressed, jokes about how I talked. Then it turned into control. She'd check my phone, criticize my friends, tell me my family didn't really care about me. And when I tried to talk about it, she'd cry. Say that I was being dramatic, that I was too emotional. Then somehow, I'd end up comforting her. It's like she knows exactly when I'm about to give up. And that's when she becomes kind again. She'll cook my favorite meal, tell me I'm the best thing that ever happened to her, and for a few days, I start believing it's all in my head. But then, the switch flips. She gets cold, distant, almost like punishing me for believing she could change. The hardest part? It's not the yelling. It's the silence. The way she looks at me like I'm invisible, like I'm not even worth the energy to hate. I don't know who I am anymore. I used to be confident. Now I question everything I do. She tells me I'm weak, that no one else would ever put up with me. And the scary part is, sometimes I believe her. I know I should leave, Billy. But when she's kind, when she laughs, when she looks at me like she used to, I feel like maybe this time will be different. But it never is.
Thank you, James, for your honesty, your courage, and your voice. I want to say this before anything else. What you just shared takes strength. So many people suffer in silence, especially men who've been taught that vulnerability means weakness. But James, your pain is not weakness. It's evidence that you still care. You're not broken. You're human. When you live with a narcissist, you start to shrink without realizing it. You stop talking to avoid conflict. You stop laughing because it makes them angry. You start apologizing for existing. That's how emotional abuse works. It doesn't destroy you in one big moment. It erodes you over time, piece by piece, day by day, until you look in the mirror and barely recognize the person staring back. They convince you that you're the problem, that you're too emotional, too sensitive, too needy. But what you're really doing is reacting to being unloved. And the truth is, you can't heal someone who doesn't see a problem with how they hurt you. You can't save a person who confuses love with control. What James described, the cycle of kindness and cruelty, that's not love. That's a trauma bond. It's when your nervous system gets addicted to the highs and lows of toxic affection. You start craving the moments of peace in between the chaos. But healing begins when you stop mistaking calm for love. Peace isn't supposed to come after pain. It's supposed to be the foundation of love itself.
If you're listening right now and you feel trapped in a similar cycle,
Please know, you're not crazy for staying. You stayed because you believed in love, because you thought you could help them heal. But love shouldn't require you to lose yourself, and staying shouldn't mean suffering. You can love someone deeply and still choose to walk away from their destruction. That doesn't make you heartless. It makes you brave. Here's what you can start doing tonight. Take one deep breath. Say out loud, "This is not my fault," because it's not. Then write one sentence in a notebook. What would my peace look like if I stopped trying to fix them? You might not have all the answers right now, but that question will become your compass. Healing isn't dramatic. It's quiet. It's choosing to sleep in peace instead of walking on eggshells. It's remembering that love should never make you feel small. And little by little, you start returning to yourself. The version of you before the manipulation, before the guilt, before the constant confusion. That's where freedom begins. To James, thank you for trusting us with your story. Your voice will stay with many people who needed to hear it tonight. And to everyone listening, remember this: you don't need their permission to heal. You don't need their apology to move on. You only need to choose yourself again, every single day. Healing starts when you stop defending your pain and start protecting your peace. So take a deep breath, let go of the noise, and allow yourself to rest. Thank you for being here, for feeling, for healing. You've been listening to Billy Healing Corner, where every story becomes a step toward peace. And now, as always, I'll leave you with this gentle music, a moment of stillness to let your heart breathe again.